What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on the Piscifun YouTube channel. We are back out on the water today with a buddy of mine, Tom Boley. If you watch YouTube, there's a good chance you have heard that name before. Tom is like the godfather of walleyes on YouTube, so if you like walleye content, make sure you go check out his channel. Not just walleyes, but smallmouth, ice fishing, lake trout. He's been doing jigging on some lake trout and stuff like that as well, so make sure you guys go check him out. I'm excited to be out here. I'm not a walleye guy by trade, but over the years I have found myself transitioning in that direction just because it's a different style. I love to learn, and who better to learn from than Tom Boley. So mid-intro, hooked up.
Oh, came off.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a good day.
It's gonna be a good day. So it's not taking long, guys. Bobbers are already shooting down. We've barely even got a spread out yet. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. Again, slip bobbering walleyes is the goal today. Early summer, transitioning into some of their summer haunts now. Spring stuff has been pretty much shallow fishing, and so that slip bobber setup is going to be key, and we'll have Tom talk to you guys a little bit about that setup a little later in this video, so you can go out on your home lake and copy exactly what we're doing and hopefully catch some nice walleyes. Stay tuned.
All right, so like Jason said, we're out here doing some slip bobbering today, and Jason brought a few rods. You can tell he's a bass guy because he's actually got the bobbers upside down, which is all right because they're still going to float and they're still going to go down when a fish bites. But like you said, it's kind of the summer transition period. We just had fish, kind of coming off of spring patterns, and they just kind of pushed out here to some of the secondary stuff. We were catching a lot of that 5 to 10. Now they kind of pushed out to some of these extensions, some of these first humps off the shoreline, and we're fishing them in a lot of this 10 to 15 foot zone now. We're going to be fishing a combination of rock and weeds today. We're going to start on rock and just kind of do some blind casting to the top of some of these humps. Give it a little bit. If they go down, will they go down? If not, we'll go in the weeds and hunt them down. But phenomenal time of year, especially on a lot of these gin clear systems. These fish are absolute suckers for leeches, and a great way to present them is obviously on a slip bobber. And we're going to get a whole bunch of rods going here, cover some water real quick with them and see what happens. And a lot of times this time of year, the leech bite's kind of triggered by warming weather. When you have water temps that kind of hit that low 60-degree range, the bite really gets kicked off, as well as bug hatches start happening at the same time of year. So the leech out of slip bobber is kind of the perfect presentation. And we're going to throw out a few on this first rock hump here and see what happens. If they go down, they go down. If not, we'll just kind of keep moving and eventually find a whole bunch of fish.
Well, guys, I'm literally messing around with the camera as Tom is wrapping up his little segment there, and we've got a fish on already. So, like I said, guys, Tom Boley and walleyes in one sentence, kind of just, it's self-explanatory. And it turns out even a bass guy's bobber does go down when it's upside down. You prove that theory really quickly.
Yeah.
I want to know, guys, honestly, comment below, because honestly, my entire life, I thought these bobbers, the heavy side went up. But I don't doubt Tom one bit. Obviously, he does this basically for a living all the time. So comment below how many of you guys did not know that.
It's pulling.
Yeah, it's pulling. And you'll notice too, guys, on one of my setups I have braid, but I think, Tom, you actually prefer mono for this, right? Because you get a little bit of stretch.
I go back and forth.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. The bobbers work better on mono,
yeah,
but
fishing that gin clear water.
Yeah.
I'm in the boat. And Tom was not kidding, guys. If you take a look here, it really wanted that leech.
Okay. Yeah. Fishing on a jig head, a lot of times you get they don't swallow it quite as deep.
So that fish was hooked pretty deep, guys. It's got a little bit of blood, so we're gonna go ahead and get it back here quick. We don't want a fatality. One thing, guys, a lot of people, they eat walleyes constantly. It's good to catch and release these guys because the populations do suffer because they are such a catch and eat type fish. And back in that clear water it goes. That took all of 30 seconds.
On. It is not crazy action yet, but we're finding some decent pods of fish. Some days you might have to kind of sit on them a little bit longer, but making sure you're always casting right into those fish is definitely kind of the deal. And for now, we're just getting a whole bunch of these kind of 15, 16 inches right now, but we'll move around and find some little bit.
We got a bobber down right here, guys.
Just going crazy. Here, I'll switch cameras with you. But a lot of times when you get into a pod, it can be pretty good.
A little bit bigger. That one's got some really, really good golden color to it. It's almost like an orange tint. Really cool color, that one. Well, first double of the day.
Yeah.
Well, guys, as you saw, I can get hot and heavy in a hurry. One of the things that always amazes me when I'm fishing with Tom is his keen sense of ability to find fish on the graph. And sorry about the audio, we got a boat right here, but his ability to find fish on a graph is tremendous. And I think that's a lot of times what separates having a great day versus having a poor day. You know, a lot of times, especially before these graphs came out, people would fish dead water for quite a long time throughout the day and just kind of hoping that there would be fish around. And nowadays, you no longer have to do that. So, you know, you spend the money and you don't have to get a Helix, you know, 12 or anything crazy, but a Helix 9 is usually a good size where you can side image and you can see, and go and scan and graph and look for the fish, and don't start fishing until you find them, because you're going to waste a lot of key time, you know, during those bite windows if you're not actually casting to the fish. So like Tom said, always be casting at fish, not just casting at weeds or rocks.
Hooked up, fish on. Just pulled into a new pod here, and immediately bobber went down. And putting these things around fish is absolutely the key to this presentation. You know, it's not like casting a jig where you're constantly moving that thing around. Slip bobber is pretty stagnant. We got a pretty decent fish here.
Seems like it's got some weight to it.
Yeah, so when you cast a slip bobber out, you absolutely want to make sure that you're right around them. Grab this guy quick here. And a lot of times this is a lot of that style of fishing where you pull up to a pod, you catch like, you know, 1, 2, 3 fish, boom, 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 and then those fish either move a lot of times, and you got to move with them, or, you know, they just kind of shut down this clear water. A lot of times, you know, they could see all their buddies getting yanked away from them. So this one's not hooked too bad. There we go. Nice little northern Wisconsin walleye right there. Bunch of these kind of 19 inchers so far, but we'll probably get into a bigger one by the end of the day. Let's let that guy go. There he goes.
Just made a move, and Tom did a little bit of side imaging here. Found a pretty good pot of walleyes. And they are gorgeous in that clear water. Another good eater size. And Tom was saying, guys, that when you're fishing these clear water lakes, a lot of times, you know, if they're in a finicky bite, you can catch 1 or 2 out of that school and they're gone. And so what we've been doing is kind of just spot hopping and plucking 1 or 2 of these guys out of a pot of fish, and then using the side imaging to try to stay on them. So another beautiful walleye going back.
And another one on. It's getting fun now. Man, this one's going crazy.
That was right away.
I don't know if we got another bass here or a decent walleye, but one of the two. Either way, it's going to be a nice fish. When you start getting these bug hatches, everything is eating bugs this time of year. I think it's a walleye. I saw a white tail down there. Oh yeah, a little better fish here. Been fishing weeds for most of the day, and now that we're kind of over to some rock, sometimes you'll see a better quality of size on one spot or the other.
There's a nice fish.
Yeah, there's a little better one right there. Slip bobbering is not just a small fish thing. It's super effective for a lot of those fish that are still in the weeds, but bigger fish will be on leeches all day too. One of the nicer ones of the day. Let that guy go. It's gonna be in good shape. See you later, dude.
Yeah. It's awesome in that clear water. You can see him kick all the way down.
I love clear water.
Another one. This is like 4 in a row real quick. Tom was explaining earlier today, though, if you get on the right pot of fish, that it's pretty much that bobber's there, the leech hits the bottom, and they're eating it.
Down it goes. Nicer fish, too. So cool in the clear water.
Yeah, you can see that white tip down there. That's a nice fish.
Yeah, it is. There we go.
Another beauty. Pop that jig out of there. Another beautiful northern Wisconsin walleye. That one's probably pushing that 19-inch mark. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Go ahead and get that one back. Got to get the whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I guess you're going. Well, guys, that is a wrap for today's video. Had an absolute blast going out with Tom today out in his area near Hayward. Caught a bunch of walleyes and really learned some new ways to slip bobber. I've slip bobbered before, but I've never really set up my stuff like Tom does. And as I said before in the video, Tom is a tremendous walleye fisherman. So every opportunity I get, I'm super thankful and appreciative for. Always get to learn something new. So guys, make sure you go down below, drop me a comment, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I will also leave Tom's channel down below. I'm sure most of you already are subscribed to that channel, but I'll drop it for you anyways, and make sure you stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.